I'm back.
Loaded, 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 loaded.
Okay, so welcome to my channel. If you don't already know, my name is Asia. I made a channel before, but that didn't really work out. Wanted to let you know that I watched my previous videos and I saw that my whole entire face, nostrils. So I'm starting new. And I'm gonna like hop right into the video because I hate people who have long intros. So this is worst to best signs in my opinion. This is my opinion. This is not based off of facts. So if you know you're gonna get mad, just go ahead and click out of the video. So without further ado, let's get started. I wrote some stuff down in a book just so I can remember the order. If you do not already know, I am a Gemini. Before we get into this astrology video, just kind of makes sense for you guys to know what I am before we start. So, okay, first, the sign I absolutely cannot stand is Capricorns. They are, oh my god. This is actually crazy because my best friend is a Capricorn.
Oh, wait a second.
But I think that's like the only Capricorn that I can kind of handle. I can handle like 1 or 2 Capricorns, but I cannot be around too many Capricorns at one time because they are very vain. They do not care what they say when they get mad, and that's kind of like a problem for me because, you know, you gotta have some type of filter, even though, you know, sometimes that can be a problem for me as well. But like, they're good friends. They're really great friends. But like, I don't know, once you're around them too much, they kind of get like, they're very materialistic. They have to have this, they have to have that, and sometimes they can't even control it. But they're very organized people. They're problem solvers, so since they're so organized, sometimes that kind of clashes with Gemini because Gemini cannot have like structure. So I can't stand Capricorns. I don't want anybody to bash me for this because this is not a bashing session. This is just my opinion. So the second sign on my list is going to be Scorpio, and the reason I say this is because they're kind of like Capricorns in a way. They're not like Capricorns. Scorpios are like Capricorns in a heartless way because they can be very heartless once you hurt them or prove that you are not loyal to them, because they are very, very, very loyal signs. And when you first meet a Scorpio, you're very like you're very comfortable around them because they're very bubbly and nice and just fun to be around. But once you get to know them on a personal level, you can see them kind of starting changing into a demon. God, I do not mean to call you guys demons, but like, you can get that way when you get mad. My brother is a Scorpio, and when stuff doesn't go his way, not even just my brother, I've noticed with all my Scorpio friends, when they're in a bad mood, everybody has to be in a bad mood with them. Like, the whole world is ruined. Pretty much. Like, they will honestly take the thing you know you're most insecure about and just hit you with it, like, and you're just gonna be like, wow, I cannot believe you just said that. That's how Scorpios work, and sometimes I cannot tolerate that because that is just crazy. Okay, next on my list is Virgos. They're just very, the only reason, I mean, listen, there's no reason why I just hate Virgos. No, it's just that we just don't tend to see eye to eye. I don't feel like when I'm in a room full of people, I don't look at a Virgo and go, oh, I want to hang out with her, oh, I want to be her friend. I don't know. They're very organized people, and that can kind of be a problem for me. Because, no. They can be good friends in a way. They tend to criticize people. I notice that a lot. They tend to judge and criticize people when they get at their worst or they get sad or mad, and it's never good. So next is the Cancer. Cancers are very, 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 very moody people. And the reason I say this is because they are very emotional. They have a lot of emotions. They have too much emotions for me sometimes. Cancers are very fun to be around, and they are willing to help you. They're very good friends. They help you in ways that you wouldn't even imagine, but a lot of baggage comes with that. You have to know how to handle their emotions, and they often get confused with Geminis because their mood is constantly changing, and it comes off as indecisiveness, but it's not really indecisiveness. It's the fact that they're so emotional, and that kind of aggravates me in a way, because they are very over dramatic. Oh my god, I cannot stress this enough. They are so over dramatic. It's like their feelings are heightened. It's like they're not just happy, they're not just mad. They're either very happy or very mad. It's intense. Next is a Pisces. A Pisces is kind of along with a Virgo. I don't really hate them. They're actually really nice people. I only have one Pisces friend, and I just started talking to her. But they're nice. They're very friendly once you first meet them. They're really friendly, and they make you feel comfortable because they don't judge you. But I will say this, they are very expressive. They are very expressive people, and so they expect you to communicate that same type of expressiveness. And sometimes that can be too much for me because, you know, no. They will tell you how they feel as long as they're close enough to you, and they expect that back. And sometimes, you know, you can't give that back to them, so they get distant and mad, and that can kind of be too much for me. So yeah, I'm sorry, I changed the angle again. I feel like I was too close, which I probably was. Okay, anyway, next on the list is a Leo. Leos are attention seekers. They need attention 24/7. That was very cliche, because if you're into astrology, then you know that already. But for me, they need too much attention. My little sister, she's a Leo, and if they don't have attention, they will die. They need the spotlight to be on them. And Geminis are attention seekers as well, so that's not gonna work. It's just not gonna mix. And they're very nice people. I can't say that. They will do anything for you as long as you're good to them, but that requires a lot of attention. They say what they want. If you get on their bad side, if you get on anybody's bad side, they're gonna, you know, be rude to you, I guess. But it's like times 10 with the Leo. They will be very, 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 very rude to you. And their confidence is like out of the roof. So they like to kind of like think they're better than everybody. So it comes off as snobby. And sometimes that can affect their character as a person, and people won't like them. Next, we have Aquarius. When you first meet them, they can be kind of shy. And you have to really get through to an Aquarius for them to really open up. And my dad's an Aquarius, so I see this a lot. They like to be alone, and sometimes that can come off as boring to me. So one thing I noticed about Aquarius is that they need alone time. They need to be alone at some point of time, even though they can be social people, but they need to be alone at some point of time. I actually had a friend, well, she's still my friend. I went over her house. We were literally downstairs watching TV, and then she just left. And I'm thinking like she went to the bathroom, but like an hour passed, and she was literally upstairs with her headphones in. While I was over, I was like, where did you go and what are you doing? It was so shocking to me until I found out she was an Aquarius, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. They need their alone time. So sometimes people can take it as them distancing themselves, and it's not that. They need that. And the reason they're in the place they are is because, you know, sometimes that can be kind of boring for me. Tauruses, oh my god, I never have like a dull moment with the Taurus. They're very fun to an extent, because this is very cliche, but they are very lazy. They are very lazy, but when they do have a good time, you know, it's really actually quite fun. So I don't really have much to say about Taurus because they are nice people, but they are very, 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 very stubborn. Once they have their mind set on one thing, I noticed this, they will not let up. They will not. It just won't happen because that's just kind of like their mindset. So I find that very annoying. I'm pretty sure a lot of other signs find that annoying too. Okay, next we have Aries. Aries, they tend to be very aggressive. So they're really loud. I noticed that with a lot of Aries because I have a couple of Aries friends and my mom's an Aries. They when they get mad, they like explode. They explode. Like they will not hold anything back. They will be very loyal friends. They're a lot of fun to be around. Like I think that's the sign I have the most fun with, personally, me. But they can tend to be, they like to be the leader, so they like to be number one. That's the sign that'll kind of like try and one up you. And it's not cockiness or anything like the Leo, but it can come across as that because they like to be number one. They like to be the leader. And yeah, sometimes that's just too much. Sometimes it's just too much for me. So next is a Gemini. My God, I love Geminis because obviously, I mean, I'm a Gemini and we see eye to eye on a lot of stuff, but we are so indecisive. We're very good friends and we're very loyal down to a point, but it's like we know when you're lying. And so 1 minute we want to act like we don't care, but we care. We act like we don't care. And 1 minute will show you that we don't care, and then the next minute we care. And so it's kind of hard to keep up, especially if you're in a relationship with the Gemini. It's kind of hard to keep up because their brain is moving. Very indecisive. 1 minute they'll say one thing, and then the next minute they'll say another. And then you're kind of like, you're left to think like, what? And it's not that we're like changing our story or anything. Our opinions change every second of the day. So when we say one thing, you cannot kind of count on that thing that we said because it's probably changed after like 5 minutes, honestly. And it's like crazy. It's actually sad. It's really sad because we make it really hard. But we're very easygoing people. They're nice. They're really great friends. But they aren't, one thing I can say is that we aren't consistent. If a Gemini tells you they're going to do something one day, like a project or something, don't count on it because the next day they'll probably lose interest in it and move on to something else. And that can be a problem. So, okay, the 11th sign on my list is a Sagittarius. Oh my God, I love a Sagittarius. They're very bubbly and fun and nice people to be around. They're very honest. They're really honest. And they're really nice. They're really nice. And they like to have a lot of fun. They like to travel. But sometimes they can promise you. I notice this a lot. They promise you stuff that they know, and sometimes you know can't happen, but they make it seem so believable. And the reason they do this is because, not to just deliberately lie to you, but the reason they do this is because they're such nice people and they don't want to disappoint anybody. And so sometimes it comes off as them just being rude and just lying to you, but yeah, they're just really trying to, they're just telling you what you want to hear. Another thing I really don't understand about them is that they are very patient. This is a good thing. They're very patient. I noticed that it takes a lot to get a Sagittarius mad. I don't think I've seen a mad Sagittarius because they're very good. They're very good at that. They're very patient people. So you have to do a lot to piss off a Sagittarius. And last but not least, the Libra. This is very also cliche because if you're into astrology, then you know that Geminis and Libra tend to be very compatible. But honestly, most of my friends are Libras. Most of the people in my life are Libras, and I I realized that like 2 weeks ago. And I was just like, wow. I never really had a bad experience with a Libra except for like one. And it's because when they get kind of upset or they sense something's not right, they kind of distance themselves. And that really pisses me off because Geminis hate being ignored, and Libras can ignore the heck out of you. Libras can ignore you so well, and it makes me so mad, especially one that you really want to talk to. Libras actually have very great communicating skills, and you can have the best talks with them. They are very, very, very nice people, but I did notice that some of them can be very mean at first. They can be very mean at first, and then once you get to know them, they start being nice. But for the most part, they're really nice when you first meet them all the way until the end. If you say something they don't like, they'll probably just distance themselves because they hate conflict. And so as a Gemini, I kind of like to argue when I'm mad, but they'll kind of just not be with that. And that's where, you know, you can see why that kind of doesn't work. But yeah, again, this is just my opinion. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want more astrology videos, let me know. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button, and I will see you in the next video.